It's Elijah,
It's Amanda.
the cutie, Amanda bruh, aka Kid Martinez, you know. So, we're gonna tell you about our love story and how we got together.
It's pretty cool.
You know, Facebook helps a lot, you know.
Oh God.
So, you know, with me, I seen this girl, you know, Amanda Espinoza, and I was like, okay, you know, she's cute. Then I was like trying to, not get at her yet, you know, just have a friendship. And I was like, you know, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, and I was like, he's saying, you know, send a little check. I've seen him and time she's seen him. And I was like, that's cool. You know, she don't want me. I'm ugly. But then, you know, Amanda's gonna tell your part what she was thinking.
And then I was like, no, he's actually really nice and everything.
But hey, when you said that, you were like, who's this nigga?
No, I was like, who's this nigga? Like, cause he kept messaging me on Facebook, and I was like, who's this nigga? He keeps messaging me. And then one time I put up on my status going to Chris in the park, and then he was like, oh, me too, and I was like, oh, really? He was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh, well, hopefully you see me there. And he's like, yeah, if you do, tell me hi. And I said, okay. So, so I was walking, and I was there for about like an hour or two. And then right when an hour passed by, I saw him first at the no. When I really got there, I saw him at the ice skating rink, and I was like, oh, and like I just stared. I was gonna go up to him.
Like, damn, he cute.
I was gonna go up to him, but I didn't because I was so scared. So I was like, no. And then like after I was like, okay, whatever. So I walked. Then I went across the street, and then from there we went to the like all the rides to the carnival. So like when we went there, and then we were going back to where the trees were at. So we crossed the street from the lights, and I saw him, and I was like, "Oh, hi, Elijah," and he was like, what did you say? Yeah, you're like, "Oh, hi," and I'm like, "It's Amanda," and I just gave him a hug, and then I left. Like, "Oh, I gotta go, bye," and then he's like, "Bye," and ever since that day, I saw him. Ever since that day.
Then what was your, how were you feeling after, huh?
I have butterflies. It looks like you're gonna have diarrhea.
So, then keep going. You know.
And then after I saw you, like I was like,
Also, okay, then I went home, right?
Okay,
I went home, and I was like, okay, damn, you know, she cute. And I'm like, you know, she seems like a chill girl. So I was like, dang, you know, like, how am I gonna start spitting game at her, you know? So I was like, you know, so I got my phone and I was like, oh, okay, I'm home. You know, it's cold. I was like, come hit someone up, and I was like, I hit her up, and I was like, hey, you know, and then I liked her status. She posted something about, you know, like for, you know, super shift, first like, whatever, memory, to be honest, something like that. Good night. So I liked it. And then she was like, oh, you know, like, you're really cute. You know, I was like, hey, text me, you know, just holla at me real quick. And then she was like, okay. And then I went to sleep, and I woke up in the morning. And like, ever since then, I just started texting. We were texting. We would text every day, talk on the phone.
24,
7.
7.
But, you know, ever since that day, I thought she was the one for me. Then now she's gonna tell you her first date.
Our first date. Okay, our first date we went to McDonald's.
4 days later.
But okay, we only went to McDonald's because we want to go get hot chocolate and stuff. And he got like
Wait, you forgot the 12 to 12.
Okay, yeah, the date comes first, and then
No, the date came after.
Yeah, okay, so forget that. Okay,
Swerve.
Swerve. Okay, so it was 12, 12, 12. The day he came, because he has independent studies, he had. So 12, 12, 12, when he came to go return his books, he came out of nowhere. He's like, oh, hey, I'm at the school. I'm about to leave. And I was like, oh, really? And then he was like, go to the bathroom. So I pretended I was going to go to the bathroom, and I met him in the hallway by
In B Hall.
B Hall. It was B Hall. And then I was like, hi. And then he just grabbed me and kissed me. I was like, oh, God.
Then, 4 days later, we went to McDonald's on a date.
4 days later, we went to McDonald's on a date. He got mocha. I got like a hot chocolate thingy. And then,
nasty as hell.
I don't know.
And I got 2 holiday pies.
You got 2 holiday pies, like, damn. And then after that, we were like, after that, we walked to San Jose High, and we were hanging out at the bench. And after the bench,
I kissed you.
Yeah, he kissed me on the bench. After he kissed me on the bench, we went by the music room.
And we were just chilling.
After that, I went back to the corner, like around the block from like 33rd Street. And then we're right there. And then
We were by
we
the.
were walking at
Mhm.
first, and I was like, so why don't you just make a move already? Like you're just hella nervous and stuff. And he was like,
And you get asking me what's wrong, and I was like,
I
oh,
was like,
nothing.
what's wrong? You're like, oh, nothing, nothing. And then, like, I know something was wrong. I was like, okay. I was like, make a movie, pussy. And then he was like, no, no, no. And then, yeah.
And the whole way to walking, I was like, oh my god, should I do it or not? But I was thinking like, oh damn, should like swerve, nigga, you like get off my nuts.
But I didn't. And then
Make a trying to make a move. I wanted her to make the first move.
I didn't want to make a move. He had to make a move. He was the guy. So like after that, he
we were just chilling at the corner.
Yeah, after that we're just chilling in the corner by 33rd, and then after he just looked at me and then he was like, "You want to be my girlfriend?" I was like, "Well," "Yeah."
And while she was thinking, I was just like sweating, just hyperventilating. But then she said, "Yeah," and I was like, then I was like, ew. So ever since I got with Amanda, like, next week's and today is 12/12/12, and it was the first day that we the 1 month that we since we kissed. And then Wednesday the 16th, it's gonna be our 1 month, and this 1 month has been amazing. We had our up and downs. We argue, but who doesn't argue? Like, seriously.
But I use the hand thing.
Well, I might, not about it.
Uses the hand thing. Okay.
But like,
Okay.
it's been amazing.
I have a big face in this camera.
Alright, swerve on your face. Come on, I want to hear about me.
Okay. Ever since I met this guy.
Please don't cry. Baby, don't cry. You gotta keep your head up. Okay, go.
Ever since I met this guy, he's been amazing. Incredible. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
Please subscribe, comment.
No one says peace anymore.
Well, what do they say? Swerve?